Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you again for being here. This is Mark Hollenstein and my guides to Masters of Light and the Elders of the Universe. And today is August 2nd, 2025. And I'm really excited that you're with me. Normally, well, for those of you that are new, live with us today or listening to the replay, these calls are 60 minutes. They are usually broken up into 15-minute segments where I deliver the message from the Elders of the Masters of Light or both. And then I kind of flesh it out based on my relationship with them and my understanding and interaction with the message. And then I try and give some practical ways that we can utilize the energies and embody them and make the most out of having this what I like to call insider information. And then we end the call with a guided visualization or meditation, something to bring us all inward and ground the transmission and the energy before we leave. This call does not stop recording. Excuse me. The call does not stop recording until the last person hangs up. So even though, I'll take you into the relaxed meditative state, and then I'll encourage everybody, let's all hang up so the recording stops. And then I would encourage you to just stay in your stillness another 2, 3, maybe up to 5 minutes, all on your own, absent of my voice, absent of the sacred circle energy we're creating, and just allow some space to see if there's anything specific that wants to come up from your own inner guidance. That being said, today, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to encourage you to grab a piece of paper and a pencil, because I may give you some suggestions today that you want to write down. So I'll give you a second to do that, and then jump right in. And I apologize in advance if I cough a little much today. I have a little tickle in my throat. So I have been sending the written portion of the message in our 1-week reminder for the last several months. And I've been doing that because I wanted you to have the opportunity to read the message and sit with it before you got here on the first Saturday. And some of the messages were getting kind of long, excuse me, and very meaty. And it was almost as if I was reading it, all I was doing on these 60-minute calls was reading the message. So I changed that pattern a little bit. However, today it feels important for me to read the message to you. It's not as long, but it feels important for those that have already read it, for those of you that are here and haven't read it, for how I'm going to flush it out. It feels important for me to read it and give everybody the transmission before I flush it out. So before I do that, I'm going to just invite everybody to just take your right hand and gently place it on your heart. And then take your left hand and gently place it on top of your right. And I want you just to kind of give yourself a gentle hug, a heart hug. Because in that energy center, in your chest, there are 2 significant energies that are moving in us. And we've been working with them for quite a while. But the first is that little emerald green ball of light about the size of a golf ball in your chest cavity. Just imagine that for a moment. You have been hearing me say since 2019 and 2020 that energy center has gotten an upgrade. It has become your command center from your soul. And you've heard me say that energy center now has the vibrational capacity to tune to all of the eternal collected wisdom and knowledge of your soul. I'm going to say that again. in your chest cavity, in that little ball of energy, there is the accumulated, infinite, eternal wisdom and knowledge of your unique experience of your soul as a drop in the infinite ocean of one source creator. It's in your chest cavity. That's massive. And it's not metaphoric. It's literal. And from March of this year, the elders have been directing our focus inward to a gold ball of light, that they are saying that is the mental representation of the literal energy of your I am presence. And the way I've been directing us to visualize this is the gold ball of light is like the size of a baseball or a softball, encompassing the green ball of light, which is your eternal soul in the form of your drop in the infinite ocean of the ball of gold light. And they are, the gold ball of light is opening your green ball of light, your soul's energy, back into an alignment of vibrational remembrance that you are source creator. Feel that for a moment and breathe in to both of those energies. Fill your lungs to absolute capacity. And then as you exhale, I want you to see that gold light bust out of your chest cavity and flow into your auric field, which is the bubble of light around your physical body. So your physical body is floating in that gold ball of light. That is the infinite ocean. That is the eternal you, who happens to have a physical body floating in the middle of it because it said, I want to take incarnation and be a person on the planet right now. And from that activation of that accumulated wisdom and knowledge of your soul, and from the infinite ocean embracing your physical body and your drop, your physical or your non-physical energetic drop, I want you just to open your heart and your mind in a very intentional way. Just offer, show me what you'll show me in this transmission. And showing me can show up in all kinds of ways. You're receiving information far more than just the words you're hearing from my mouth that are hitting your ears. That's just the first level, the first layer. Allow that to be true and open yourself to a deeper level of trust of you as a drop, remembering itself as source, the ocean. That's where we're going to start today. Go ahead and relax your hands off your chest, make yourself comfortable, take one more big breath, and now I'm going to read the message. Beloved, radiant souls of earth, we greet you now with reverence and love as you move through what may seem at times an invisible storm of transformation. What is occurring around you is not imagination. It is not fear. It is not chaos for chaos' sake. It is a cosmic recalibration of humanity's evolutionary blueprint. You are living through a moment not written in any past timeline, not foretold by ancient prophecy. This is new because of the receptivity you have shown to incoming light codes since March. And you are here not by accident, but by choice of soul and alignment of purpose. Since your year of 2020, we have been preparing you for what we lovingly called obstacles on your mud runner race. We offered these words not as metaphor alone, but as accurate foresight of the energetic terrain you would encounter. From the very beginning of this year, 2025, we have reminded you that the second half of this year will begin to reveal these obstacles more clearly on both your personal path and the collective stage. As you move through the months you know as August and September, you will witness many shocking revelations. Systems long unsustainable will continue to dismantle. Structures built on fear and control no longer hold a vibrational resonance to sustain themselves. This is not chaos as punishment. This is evolution unfolding. You've heard us speak consistently since March of this year. Your most important task now is to anchor yourself through connection to and embodiment of your I Am presence. The analogy our conduit has shared remains true. The infinite ocean of one source creator is now opening and expanding through each drop of consciousness that has long believed itself to be separate. You are that drop. You are returning to the remembrance that you are the ocean. The turmoil rising on the world stage is not meant to destroy you. It is the catalyst through which many souls will awaken. You are no longer in training. You have moved beyond preparation. You have been guided to this point so you may stand ready for the dismantling that will escalate through the remainder of this year and continue into your 2028. We don't share this to invoke fear. We share it because you will be presented again and again with opportunities to find your strength through the living embodiment of your I Am presence. This is the time where doubt must fall away. Trust in your alignment is no longer optional. It is essential. Your inner guidance, your bandwidth of connection, is capable of leading you through this turbulence. It is through this connection that new, higher experiences will form for you. The new earth cannot and will not emulate what has come before. This will be your greatest challenge, to trust not what you see with your eyes of your grieving human self, but to trust the clarity available through the vision of your I Am presence. The world will try and convince you that chaos signals hopeless defeat. In truth, it signals the collapse of what can no longer sustain itself. Seen through the eyes of your inner alignment, this becomes a reason not for despair, but for quiet rejoicing. The energies flowing through August will support your surrender into deeper levels of trust. If you continue to nurture your stillness practice and trust the wisdom rising within you, wisdom born from your cultivated alignment, you will find stability even as the outer world seems unstable. The time has come to live as though you know this truth fully. You are ready. You are prepared. You are not alone. Your nervous systems are becoming receivers for light you were once unable to hold. Your cellular structures are recalibrating not through science or medicine, but through light codes streaming from the galactic heart. These codes awaken dormant potentials: crystalline DNA, emotional intelligence, spiritual sovereignty, and unity consciousness. Your past and your future are not fixed. I'm going to say that again. Your past and your future are not fixed. They are responding to your present alignment. each moment you choose love over fear, peace over reaction, unity over division, you alter the timeline, not only for yourself, but for the collective. Your emotional waves, your tears, your sudden bursts of joy or grief, these are clearings, not regressions. You are releasing generations of density, not only your own, but ancestral, collective, and karmic. This is sacred work. This is why you are here. The awakening you are part of is not theoretical. It is embodied. It is not happening to humanity. It is happening through you. You are becoming who you were always destined to be. A human aligned with the divine blueprint of light, capable of sensing, creating, and living beyond the limitations of survival consciousness. So rest when needed. Laugh when joy bubbles forth. Cry when old griefs surface. All is part of the integration. What is unfolding cannot be stopped. It can only be embraced. Your light is needed. Your wisdom is rising. You are exactly where you are meant to be. With love, light, and steady presence in your becoming, we are the elders of the universe. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, let that transmission expand through your body. And just check in for a moment. Notice what you're feeling. Feeling in the way of emotions, feeling in the way of physical sensations moving through your body. So you receive that message. Now I'm gonna flush some of this out for you. There's so much transmitted in those words. And every day in my stillness practice, I am just expanding in ways that are just blowing me away. What I'm coming to understand about myself, what I'm coming to experience in this embodied alignment of remembering that has nothing to do with the mind. It has everything to do with a vibration that lights us up, that lets us perceive and experience life differently. So you received that message a week ago, and then this past Monday, I pulled one piece out. I'm going to remind you what I pulled out, and then I'm going to pull 3 other pieces out that really stand out to me that feel super important for me to encourage you and guide you to kind of lock and load at a deeper level. Excuse me, on Monday, the first piece that I pulled out was that you're not in training anymore. You heard me say for many years, we're in training on this mud runner race, right? And we had these personal obstacles showing up, and I had been encouraging you that these are training us into deeper levels of trust in ourselves, trust in the higher frequency version of ourselves that we've now started calling the I am presence. And you've heard me say that that was not a phrase I was comfortable using, because in my early ministry years as a Christian pastor, the only one talking about I am presence were new agey people that seemed like freaks, and my seminary training taught me that they were of the devil. They were just onto something that my paradigm didn't want to allow any possibility for. But that I am presence is the most important piece. It is the part of us the ocean that we've never been separate from, awakening us into the fullness of the fact that we now have the capacity to live as humans, fully tuned to the frequency of the one infinite creator. That is what ascension is. That is the evolutionary process and probability that's been offered to a species on a planet to do all at one time. And that's why so many souls who have never taken incarnation, and many souls who have taken human incarnation and now are living their existence in this incarnation of their soul as non-physical beings, are in absolute awe of you. Not me, you. Let that land. This is sacred work, and you're not in training anymore. And the elders in this message, this is the part I was reinforcing on Monday, and I'm reinforcing it now, and then I'll move on to the next three. The elders have affirmed that you have moved. You have moved beyond preparation, regardless of what your mind tells you. Your soul knows you've moved beyond preparation in the life you're living right now. Right now. And this is the moment to trust your inner alignment. Not as an idea, but as a lived reality. And only you can let the ocean open your drop into that embodiment. Only you can do that. Only you can do that. All the years you've been working with me, I have said to you over and over again, there's only one task for me, and that is to drive you inward, to trust your own inner guidance. Remember me saying that? And it was my job to, as a guide, to hold your hand as long as I could through the preparation. And sometimes I wonder if I held it too tight and I just didn't push you down the slope and yelled, Steve! But now we're all out of preparation time. You have moved beyond it. And your inner guidance is ready to help you fully embody it. That's so important. I want you to say that out loud to yourself in your own space right now. I've moved beyond training. I'm not in training anymore. Say it that way. I'm not in training anymore. Feel that. That's a powerful truth. You're ready. So here's I'm going to share three more things with you that really stuck out in me. I'm going to tell you what it is, and I'm going to tell you why I picked this, because there's so much there. And then I'm going to give you some solid suggestions, and that's why I said maybe grab a pen this time. Because we're out of training, and I'm just going to give you more tools now that you're ready to pick up and utilize. Before I give you this three, maybe you have become aware that there are 6 planets that are going retrograde that are all overlapping between now and the end of this year. You've heard me say many times, I am not an astrologer. I have become more and more intrigued with astrology since 2017, and when I first started channeling the Masters of Light, because at the same time I was in my early years of awakening from 2012 to 2017, I was on YouTube like everybody, just sucking up information before YouTube blew up and became inundated with all kinds of rabbit holes. But in the early days, I was, who's talking about this word ascension that I know? And because I was on there so much, astrologers who were awake and aware of ascension were sharing their perspective from an astrological standpoint, and it really intrigued me. And now we find ourselves in this end of the year when we've been being prepared that for a couple of years at the end of 2025 was going to be really tumultuous, chaotic, dismantling, confusing, lots of activity. And now we come to find out that it's in conjunction with 6 planets retrograde. That's not random. And what I'm going to do in a very simple way, again, because I'm not an astrologer and I don't want to bore you, but I want you to understand everything in the universe. All the planets are conspiring to put themselves in the perfect position to support what we're going through. It's not random. It's miraculous and divine and powerful and purposeful, and it's all for you. It's all for you, the souls who said, yes, send me. And it's all for right now and moving forward. We're out of training. We've been in training multiple lifetimes, and we've been in training our entire lifetime in this incarnation, and now we're out of training. That's huge, and it's happening now. So I'm going to give you three top key components in addition to that one that I gave you on Magical Monday from the elders from this message. So the number one is trust your I am presence in the midst of this dismantling. That's the message. If you go back and you read this and you sit with it, they've been building our awareness to go inward to allow the ocean to open the drop since March in preparation for August and beyond. And that preparation has happened in many, many ways, but you are now tuned and aligned, again, regardless of what your mind is saying. And I chose this because the elders emphasize that the second half of 2025 is going to reveal these obstacles, both on a personal and on a collective level. You may have been riding a roller coaster already, preparing for the month of August. You've been having bursts of positive, fun, exciting, connective experiences, and then you've had challenges show up in your personal life that are calling you to deeper levels of let go, deeper levels of clearing, right? And that's just going to continue. This dismantling of these unsustainable systems outside of us, the banking systems, the media systems, all the systems we've discussed all of these years, it's falling apart because there is no vibrational match to sustain it anymore. But there's no vibrational match to sustain the external systems because you are tuning to a frequency that no longer is sustainable for our false structures, our false beliefs, our false stories that we've been programmed into, that we took the program and then we wrote our own debilitating, limiting version of ourself. And all those remnants are coming face to face. We're looking in the mirror even deeper, myself included. I'm seeing stuff about me and I'm feeling empowered to let go with no judgment. And I feel this surge of new tools coming online. It's not about looking at where we think we failed based on an old story and then beating ourselves up because we're still in the same pattern, then saying, but I don't know what to do. I guess I'll go back to this old way of trying to break this habit, and then I feel sucky and shitty, and I'm probably going to fail again. No, that's what's coming up for review. Everything that just came out of my mouth, as it comes up in you, that's your higher self tapping you on the shoulder and saying, let's let go of all of that. What happens if you just let go of all of that? What happens if you just let go of the story you're telling yourself about that part of yourself? Let's start there, because the story itself isn't sustainable. And if the story itself isn't sustainable, the solution you're talking yourself into that you cannot accomplish is unsustainable. So what if you let go of all of it and you just drop it into your stillness? This is so important because retrograde, you hear people talk about retrograde as going reverse. You've heard me say, particularly Mercury retrograde, you've heard me say, this is a time, any word that begins with R is a perfect way to interact deliberately with the energies of retrograde. Rethink, regroup, recalibrate, retreat, rest, any other R word that you can think of. However, these 6 planets that are overlapping in the retrograde, they are supporting this dismantle. So there's even, it's many people talk about retrograde as going in reverse, because you know how when you're driving down the freeway, sometimes as an adult, always happened to me as a kid, you look out the window and you'd see a big truck going by you, or you're passing it and it looks like their wheels are spinning backwards, right? That's the illusion of energy. And so it looks like a planet has reversed its direction around our sun. It hasn't, but its energy has shifted. And these 6 planets that are overlapping in retrograde, each with their own specific purpose and category that they're supporting you with and the dismantle on the world stage with, is not about going backwards. Even if you feel like you're failing because more residue of your old pattern has shown up and you want to default into judgment, you're not going backwards. These 6 planets are calling us to spiral even deeper inward into the stillness of your I am presence, so you can give up the story and surrender to the ocean and be amazed and surprised at what begins to surface. You're not in training anymore, and you're fully prepared. So, these retrogrades that we're going to be going through and feel their intensity, you can think of it like a cosmic review. And your soul's reviewing again, here's simply presenting residue of beliefs and ways of being that are no longer a vibrational match. Just release them with intention. That sounds so simple to the mind on the sphere frequency that says, nope, hustle harder, work stronger, be better, get done, right? What if we just relinquish all of that? Relinquish all of that. So here's 2 ways to embody this key component of trusting your I am presence. We've been doing these types of things on Magical Mondays now, and we kind of did it at the beginning. I had you put your hands on your heart, right? These are not little tasks that are meaningless, that are just kind of cute little spiritual things to do to make us feel good. No, it's so much deeper than that. When you're focused with intention of connecting with the infinite ocean of your I am presence, and you're giving your mind a tangible way to get on board, you're tuning, you're turning the dial to the exact frequency of this alignment with remembering. Excuse me. So I want you to do it with me right now. Oh, 1 second. I need to take a sip of water. My apologies for my cough. So I'm going to say it out loud, and while your hands are on your heart and you're listening to me, then we'll say it together. Simple. What if you got out of bed every morning, put your feet on the floor, put your hands on your heart, and said this with commitment, dedication, and intention before you even stood up into your day? I trust my I am presence to lead me through all appearances of chaos. I trust my I am presence to lead me through all appearance of chaos. Say it with me. Say it out loud. I trust my I am presence to lead me through all appearance of chaos. Now just breathe in, exhale, and feel that reverberate through your body. Let it make its way up into your mind. Let it become your truth, your embodied truth. If you did that every morning and spoke it out loud with intention 3 times every day, and you begin to build that new pattern, you're going to notice something different. I'm giving that to you today because we have been being prepared, and we're no longer in training, that the chaos is going to increase as we move through August. Today is August 2nd. There's a solid tool. Put it in your tool belt. Here's a second way. This is going to sound to the third dimensional wounded persona mind like, that ain't going to work. It is going to work. I use these kinds of tools all the time. What if you, let's call it the collapse as confirmation practice. The collapse as confirmation practice. So when we hear news of systems failing or structures crumbling that create momentary or slightly extended inconveniences for all of us, what if instead of reacting with fear, we verbally speak from our I am presence with this conscious reframe? This is evidence of the new frequencies replacing the old. Look at it. Look at that. This is evidence of the new frequencies replacing the old. Before something new can show up, what's there's got to be taken down. This is evidence of the new frequencies being replaced. In the message, it's telling us this is reason, quiet celebration. Feel that. We do not have to navigate this through the frequency of fear. And the truth is we're on a bandwidth that has been waiting for this moment to allow us to navigate the challenges from a much higher viewpoint and vibrational match that tunes into that energy in your heart chakra that is absent of fear. Doesn't mean the human isn't going to go, oh shit, that's kind of interesting. Oh, that's really inconvenient. Oh, that's really going to change things for a little bit. Okay, but good news is this is evidence of the new frequencies replacing the old. I'm all in. We were told in this message, what's happening cannot be stopped. So I'm not going to be in resistance to it. I'm going to be in quiet celebration, waiting for my I am presence to say, okay, here's how you're going to navigate this obstacle as it's shown up on your personal mud runner race. I'm all in. I'm all in. This is evidence of the new frequencies replacing the old. And this is why I came. I remember, even if my mind doesn't, my soul does. And the more we practice and live this way with intention, the more it is your living reality. We're not making this up. And you are remembering, and we're all remembering in different segments and increments. And we got a ways to go. This remembering is not the flip of a switch. It's a process. It's a butterfly who has liquefied itself into goo when it was a caterpillar and wrapped itself in a cocoon, and now it's reordering itself into a completely different creature. And it's taking some time. This dismantle is the gooifyingness. There's a word for it, and I forget what it is. It's the butterfly reducing itself to goo so it can emerge. Once the caterpillar is in the cocoon, there's no stopping it. There's no stopping you, beautiful soul. You are the infinite ocean divided into almost 9 billion souls on the planet, half of which are already on board. I'm going to give you the second thing, and I kind of paraphrased it, but if you reread the message, you're going to see This message is reinforcing every tool I've given you from the elders and the masters of light since 2017 has been about building a stillness practice. Every single one. And some of you just flinched and judged yourself. Shit. I never really did all that. Not doing it right. Now I'm probably behind. You're not. What did the message say? You're right, exactly where you are meant to be. Your mind is not the driving force in this process. Your soul is. So you're going to have to really become mindful how you interact with the thoughts that want to float into your mind that are probably not even yours. So the second one is stillness is your superpower. Stillness is your superpower. Stillness is not empty. Stillness is not boring. Stillness is the attunement to the eternal one source creator. Stillness doesn't have to be meditating for 3 hours, battling your mind. That's not stillness. That's an old concept. Stillness is intention. Stillness is focus. Stillness is your superpower, and you're right where you're meant to be. In the message, the elders highlighted stillness as the non-negotiable. I'm pointing that out, and that's why I picked it as the second one. It's your superpower. It is the non-negotiable foundation for navigating what? The incoming light that you are absorbing. That's activating all your dormant DNA, your nervous system, your emotional system, and every freaking cell in your body, bones, blood, and skin. Stillness isn't passive, y'all. It's an active tuning into your higher operating system. Let that land. Stop the judgment. Love your stillness. The good news is, these retrogrades that are spiraling us inward, if you look at what each planet is responsible for, you'll see these planets are aligning to support your stillness practice. It's like an invitation to merge with a higher understanding of this sacred pause and how it is actually affecting the fallout and the dismantle and the destructuring of the system. Grab your pen. I want to give you 2 ways to embody this. We've already been doing this. Call it the breath breaks, right? Now let's level that up a little bit. Let's call it the timed stillness windows. All you got to do, keep it simple. Set your timer for 2 times a day. It can be 5 minutes to 10 minutes. You choose. Set your timer so it's a priority and you don't forget it, and you just take a stillness break. You can put it on your phone. You can take it with you. In these stillness breaks, there's nothing to do. There's no problem to solve. There's no prayer to make. There's no begging to ask. There's nothing to do. We're not looking for solutions. We're tuning into your I am presence so it can expand into your beingness stronger and stronger. And all that requires is breath and intention. So you set your timer 2 times a day. That's it. You're starting your morning putting your hands on your heart, right, and saying, I'm trusting my I am presence to lead me through all appearances of chaos. Then you set your timer for 2 times a day, and all you do is breathe. That's all you do with stillness. Put your phone away, close your eyes, go outside, sit in the fresh air, sit on a favorite chair. Doesn't matter. Just close your eyes and breathe and say, my one intention is just to be still and tuned. And by the way, when you do that, the ocean then will do its part because the ocean is opening the drop. You're not trying to open the ocean and say, let me in. And all it requires is breath and intention. You can do this. You're right where you're supposed to be because you're not in preparation anymore. You're ready. I'm going to give you one other way to embody this if you want. Let's call it the retrograde reflection journal, because we're going to be in retrogrades, spiraling us inward into our stillness between now and the end of the year. So what if you just got a piece of paper and wrote across the top of it, retrograde reflection journal, and every night before you put your butt in bed, because the morning you started with your hands on your heart, right? And then twice in the day, you took these breath breaks and stillness breaks to do what? Just to tune. Let the ocean open me a little bit more with intention and permission. And then every night you just jot down one way, just one way. You notice how the slower paced or the breath breaks helps you notice something that maybe you would have missed. That's it. What did I notice today? Just one thing. Jot it down. Build a practice. See what you have at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year. Let's keep going. I got one more for you. This I know all of you have been experiencing in some way. Waves of emotion just overtake you. And much of it is sorrow and grief and heaviness. And the brain wants to say, I'm tired of feeling so heavy and I don't really even know what's wrong, but I kind of do because I kind of think I suck and right? You're spiraling inward. We've received the mantra, there's nothing to fix, there's just more to feel. But we're such fixers, we haven't really embodied the beauty of that mantra. Not because we're wrong or broken, we're right where we're supposed to be. We're still expanding. We keep getting these gems, these pearls, these tools to keep anchoring us as we keep letting the ocean open us. We want it overnight. We just want to go, I'm awake now. Can the rest of the fucking world wake up and can everything just be right? Right? Like that's what we're waiting for, because in the old paradigm, that's what we've been trained into. That's not how it's happening. It's us allowing the ocean to open us into a vibrational match of remembering who we are that will take us to an embodied knowing of what I've been saying for years. The energy in your chest cavity is absent of fear. It doesn't know itself as anything other than source, and therefore it's absent of human limitation. And you've heard me say, when the frequencies get higher, we're going to have to really rethink what it even means to be a human on this planet. We're expanding into the possibility of what even that could mean. That's what's going on. So these emotional waves, I write this down. I want you to see, especially in the retrograde, as it's spiraling you inward, you can expect more waves of emotion to come up and out of you. These are emotional waves as sacred clearing. You don't have to understand them. You can spend time trying to figure it out if you want to, and you can try and connect the dots to why you feel this way and what you need to do to fix it. There's nothing wrong with that. There can be great enlightenment. But what if you just allowed the message that the elders are reminding us that these sudden surges of emotion, they're not regression, but they're deep, deep, deep releases, not just for you, definitely for you, but also for your ancestors and the collective. This is sacred work, and you came here for it, and you're ready. So embrace these waves of emotion, whatever they are, and acknowledge them as sacred clearing. It's going to keep happening because it has to go so we can be fully tuned to what we're capable of tuning to as our I am presence in the same body we've just lived tuned to fear. So here's 2 ways to embody this. I like to put little names to things. Makes my brain, it's my retreat day. So we're going to call this the wave welcoming ritual. The wave welcoming ritual. No resistance at all. A wave of emotion hits me. It surges. I'm just going to put one hand on my heart again. I'm going to hold that sacred I am presence energy. I'm going to hold that drop that is being opened by that gold light. And I'm just going to say, this too is clearing the way for my next level of light. This is clearing the way for my next level of light. That's all. I'll feel it until it passes. What if I just started to interact with these waves from that perspective? Oh my God, here it comes again. I just feel so sad. This is clearing the way for my next level of light. Okay, tears, heaviness, no resistance. Just feel free to move up and out. Thank you. Thank you. Powerful. And I'll give you one more way that you can interact with these waves of emotion. This is really important to me. Not important. It's really thrilling for me because many of you know I've been channeling. I painted 4 portals of the 4 seasons, which are also connected to the 4 elements. And I'm bringing messages from the elders for this cosmic oracle deck. But the elements in nature are super potent ways to use their energy for this clearing. So I'm going to speak fast because I want to get to the meditation. But you can choose an element that's going to support you in clearing the wave. Water. You're feeling sad. You can put yourself in a hot tub and let the water absorb the energy. You can get in a bathtub. You can get in a shower and let it wash over you. You can drink a glass of water with love and intention, say water as a conduit, carry this sadness out of me. This too is being cleared so I can have more light. I'm going to use the element of water to do that. You could use the element of wind. You could just go back to the breath. Take 3 breaths in, and with every exhale, say, I release this sadness to make more space for the light. You can use the element of fire. You can light a candle, sit still, stare at the fire, and say to the fire, absorb my tears, absorb my sadness, transform it, transmute it. So there's more space for light. And when you feel complete, blow the candle out and watch the smoke move up into the ethers, carrying away that round of grief, making more space for the light. And then finally, you can just go to the park or go to your garden or go anywhere and take your feet off, put it on the ground and say, Earth, take my tears. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama Earth. I like to go sit on a rock at the foot of the mountain, not too far from my house, and I just let myself feel. I usually like to do that in the morning when the sun is beating on my face. So there you have it. That's where I'm going to leave you today. I want you to understand that these 6 rare alignments of these retrogrades at once is not here to slow us down and make us go backwards. It's here to synchronize your inner upgrades with the outer collapse. It's all working for our highest good. It's removing what no longer serves us in the misinformation and the buy-in we all believed in our separateness. And we're making a new way, and it's sacred work, and that's why you're here. So I'm going to give you, we got 5 minutes left. I'm going to invite you to just position yourself in a comfortable way. And I want you to, again, just place your hands on your heart. And I want you to say this with me. I am ready. And just say that 3 times and just notice what you feel. Let your soul speak, not your mind. Your mind might not believe it, but let your voice box be utilized by your soul right now. The mind will get on board, but speak what is true. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. Now I want you to imagine that emerald green ball of light in your chest cavity. Fill it with breath. As you exhale, watch it slowly rotate like a mirrored ball in a dance club. And as it's rotating, watch. All of a sudden, it's encapsulated in a beautiful, radiant gold ball of light. See that ball of light rotating the opposite direction. There's the ocean holding the drop that has always believed it's separate. And the ocean is nurturing and massaging that drop, allowing it to trust and relax and let it start to expand and be fully absorbed as the ocean. That's what's happening. It's not all on you, little drop, who erroneously forgot that it was the ocean, or intentionally forgot it was the ocean and said, one day I'll live in a lifetime that I'll remember it, and that's now. Release yourself from the job of doing ascension so perfectly and surrender to the ocean. Let the ocean open your drop. It's not all on you. It's hard for the mind to believe that the way you were programmed. But you can trust it. It's true. And if you sit in your stillness, set your timer twice a day and just breathe and say, ocean, tune me to you in a way that it starts to change my mind, the ocean will do that. It has been doing that. It's guided you every step of your entire life and has led you to this call. It's not going to forsake you. It's not going to say, psych, you're on your own. It's going to keep opening you. And you are going to keep surprising and amazing yourself in how you navigate what we are creating, because we're surrendering to allowing the ocean to open our drop. You're right on track. And the elders and every guide in the entire universe and your personal guides, whether you've recognized them yet or not, don't matter. They are all in humble reverence to you. Some of you have taken my retreats, and when you do deep work, we all get down on our knees and we bow to the human, and it can feel rather disconcerting because we're not used to being honored for our pain and for our struggle and for our sacred work. The universe is on its knees in reverence to you. I'm not blowing smoke in your ear. Let that in. The sacred work that your soul is doing for the beautiful human that is you, that's really struggling to keep up. The universe is in awe of you and so grateful. Source Creator is grateful to your drop in the human form that is you. Let that in your stillness and your breath breaks this week. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. You're powerful. And your stillness is your superpower. That's where I'm going to leave you today, beautiful soul. I love you tons. I think all of you got the invite. We're going to do a intention session in 30 minutes for a friend of mine who's resurfaced. He's struggling with a leukemia diagnosis, so we're just going to love on him for 30 minutes at 8:30. If you can make it, awesome. If you can't, awesome. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you on Magical Monday. And I just want you to be ready to come to Magical Mondays a little bit early, because I'm going to log in early and I'm going to start at 7 a.m. straight up through the rest of the year. So I got so much for you as we move through this retrograde cycle. So much good stuff. I love you tons. Bye for now.